Hello there, Capricorn, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Welcome back to Radiant Moon Tarot. My name is Victoria, and today we are bringing forward a timeless reading for you from your spirit guides. We're going to see what messages they have for you today about your power, your purpose, your potential, doors opening up for you, warnings about maybe some tricky things that are yet to come, whatever it is they want to say. Trust that whenever this reading does find you is exactly when it's meant to, and the energy is activated will last about 3 months or so, depending on your situation. But let's get right into it and see what messages are coming out. We've got major third eye activation here for you. We've got the Guardian Stone coming out here first. And this is really highlighting and awakening your progress that you've been making and your initiation. So for some of you here, this is really highlighting the energy of a massive spiritual shift, awakening, leveling up, those kind of things. You're awakening to your personal power, awakening to your spiritual self, awakening to messages or deeper understanding about the universe or from spirit, right? So this is a beautiful energy here. Your higher chakras are all very much activating, awakening, and getting more powerful. This is your ability to envision something and turn your vision into reality. So it's a great energy there for you. Your intuition is very heightened right now, and it may be because you're just going through this path of spiritual growth. Your energy is shifting. It's really wonderful, but sometimes our intuition and our otherworldly senses do become heightened if there's something that is coming around the corner where we're going to need to rely on these senses rather than, things like logical thinking and whatnot, right? And so it can be to avoid a situation or embrace a situation, right? So it can really help us to gain deeper understanding or insight into something as to what's going on. So this is a beautiful energy, but whatever your situation happens to be, you are making progress. Some of you, you are in the first stages of your spiritual journey or a personal journey in some way, because when we do have this particular energy with your third eye, you've got some sort of vision of the future, something you want to create, something you want to build. It starts with that spark of imagination. And this is saying that in order to make progress, you need to start. You need to initiate something, right? And we do quite often sometimes get lost in a bit of a fantasy land here. So, we don't want to be stuck in our heads all the time. We don't want to just fantasize about things. We want to live out that reality that we want to create. So this is saying to you here that if you haven't already started something that you want, now is a great time for you to take that initiative, to take that first step, and you'd be amazed how much progress that you can make. Others of you, you are very much making a lot of progress on your journey. You may go through some periods where you may not feel as though anything has changed, or you might not feel as though you've been making progress. And whether this is something internal within you, it could be a healing journey, it could be your spiritual path, but it could be something else, something in relation to your personal goals and dreams, right? Sometimes we don't feel like we've done anything because we're not seeing the results necessarily in front of our eyes. But on some level, we have made progress. So trust that you're where you're meant to be. Trust your intuition, because sometimes we get a heads up from spirit that, hey, you know what? There might be a little bit of a detour here for you, or there might be a better way, a better path. So when we listen to that, right, things get a little bit more interesting, but great, powerful energy there for you. We also have the Wisdom Keeper here activating for you, and this is bringing you a new perspective, encouraging you to study, to learn, to do research, to seek out knowledge and expand your mind. And if you are on very much a spiritual path, whether you're just starting out or whether you're very seasoned, there's always something to learn. There's always something we don't know. We go down a rabbit hole of our evolution. Quite frequently, I find myself doing the same thing, right? And, right now I'm reading some very, very, very historical occult books and stuff like that. They're fascinating. You got to get past some language first, right? But it's amazing what kind of little informational rabbit holes that you can go down. And so this is saying when we keep an open mind and we seek wisdom, we seek answers, we seek information, we can really gain a lot of wisdom and insights, right? We get a lot of deeper understanding. So this is a wonderful time for you to apply knowledge and wisdom that you've learned, whether it's from reading books or material, or whether it's from things that you've experienced in the past. We always apply our wisdom that we have gained to our current and future situations, right? But this is also saying to you that there may be avenues for you to expand your learning, expand your knowledge about something. And it can, again, be your spiritual path. It could be something completely different, right? But this path to learning and study is very much open to you now. This can bring you in a new perspective on things. This can bring you different insights on things, right? Information is very important. Knowledge is power, but knowledge, it's very interesting. Like if you were to, let's say, what I'm doing right now, right? I'm going back through very historical documents and books, and it can be very difficult reading in some cases, just because the language is a little bit weird. But I'm used to reading Shakespeare, so I get a little bit of a leg up on some of that, right? But it's interesting how, the evolution of our spiritual paths and our understanding of the things that are hidden, which is what occult means, right? Occult just means what is hidden. And it's amazing, number one, the parallels, right, between, 200 years ago and now, and the parallels between what they knew then, what we knew now, but how things have evolved a little bit, right? So it can kind of change your perspective sometimes when we look back on history or historical documents, right? And we do that research. And, so it's why kind of cancel culture and things like that is so dangerous, right? Because we're losing that inherited wisdom. So you could be in some way finding that you are the keeper of some sort of wisdom, or maybe you find that you're on a quest to learn something about things that would otherwise be destroyed or canceled in some way. You might be very inclined right now to do some writing or some journaling, chronicle your experiences. Wisdom keeper energy, this can be where you're, perhaps diving into your family history, your ancestral past. You might unearth something very interesting. It's always interesting when we start digging up stuff, right? But, it could be something that you're maybe very passionate about, right? And you're like, I want to learn where I've come from. I want to learn about our family tree. I want to learn our family history. And so you could be the keeper of that knowledge, of that wisdom, and you keeping it safe for other generations that follow you to, build upon it, right, and learn from it. So, it's when you unlock and you open your mind to, really kind of, learn or understand or dive deep or go down that rabbit hole of knowledge, right? It's amazing where you can go, what paths you can go down, and you don't have to apologize to anyone. Sometimes people think, why are you looking at that? That's weird. Trust and follow your own path, because I feel like there's something, if you dig, you will find, and you could find something very interesting. We have another chance to be the river dances to the sea, and the emergence of hope. For some of you here, you're doing a lot of reflection, a lot of introspection, and you could be potentially having some sort of revival or a renaissance, if you will. Another chance to be can be about your personal awakening, your personal path. This is a rebirth for you, a time of transformation, a time of awakening to who you truly are. Because sometimes, through life, right, sometimes we forget who we are. Right? Or we conform to other people. We all put on a mask every single day, right? Because we put on a certain kind of mask in certain kind of situations, right? You put on your work persona, or you put on your PTA persona, right? Or you put in that, put on that persona when you're, if you're playing some competitive sports activity, right? You're like, I'm going to win, right? But who are you really? Your true self, your authentic, truthful self. So this can be where you are kind of experiencing this rebirth of sorts, of getting back in touch with who you truly are. And it is a magical and powerful time when we do that. This can also represent that if you have fallen off of your spiritual path, as we all do, right? We hit a plateau, or, we get caught up in our hustle and bustle, then this is something reemerging within you. All right. This can be where you may give yourself a second chance, a second try at something that you want to create or something that you want to change. Maybe you tried something previously and it just didn't work for whatever circumstance or reason. And now today you're like, you know what? I'm going to give that another try. Think about that massive book that you wanted to read maybe when you were a teenager, and you're like, man, I really tried to read that. And I know it's supposed to be a really good book, but I just couldn't get through it. And now maybe as an adult, you're like, I'm going to go back and read that book, right? Because something in you has been left unfulfilled, right? Unfinished business. So you could be going back and doing things like that. You could be, finding closure in some areas, right? But whatever it is, you could give yourself a second chance at something. This can be a second chance at life, just in general, right? It's like maybe you've been through some challenges, some blocks, and, this is spirit saying, don't let anything defeat you. You're still here, you're breathing, you're still standing, right? And you have a second lease on life of whatever it happens to be, a second lease on relationships, or allowing relationships to come in. This is all about taking back control of something. Because why? Because we've got some healing going on. We've got some emotional healing going on. And when we embrace that energy, we're willing to let something go. What happens? The river dances to the sea, and we get in a flow. We get in the flow state. We are open. We're receptive. We're not resisting anything anymore, right? And we do need to go through some stuff, right? To get ourselves in a fully open and receptive state. And that's what's coming here as well. Get ready, because there could very well be some changes heading your way, whether they're by your own hand and you know them, or whether it's circumstances around you. People don't always love change, right? Change is scary, right? Change is, we don't know what to expect. We don't know if something's going to succeed. We don't know if something's going to fail, right? And, it's the fear of the unknown, the fear of the unexpected, that quite often keeps us stuck in a certain kind of static state, right? But change and evolution and growth and expansion, it's all part of life, and it's part of the interesting parts of life, right? So this is a time of change, of transformation, second chances, reclaiming who you are. And remember that change can be an adventure. It can be exciting. It can be interesting. And when we are in the flow, we embrace change, all right? Or we get the big picture, right? See things in a different perspective. We get the big picture and we understand that, okay, I think this needed to happen. I know this needed to happen. I'm not necessarily happy that I have to deal with it because it's stressful, but you can feel a shift, and it's typically a positive one, even if you have to climb a few mountains along your way. But this can be some interesting adventures that are on the horizon for you, and Spirit saying to you here, don't resist the adventure. Don't resist the changes, because they are very much necessary on part of your journey, but they can also be really interesting and put you in a better place than maybe you had thought. Keep hope alive, the emergence of hope. This is the hope rising and swelling within you. This is hope and faith and trust in your divine plan, in your ability to create, an ability to change, ability to start something new, ability to understand things from a different perspective, right? When we embrace the energy of hope and faith and trust, and we believe in ourselves, we believe in our situation, we believe that all will be well, then it will be. Because by engaging and embracing those energies, what happens? We're shifting our energy field. We are putting a different energy out into the universe. Thus, that's what we are attracting back. We always have challenges. We always have problems. We always have a mountain in some way that's tossed on our path, right? But we have the ability always to overcome, to go around, to go under, to go over whatever it happens to be. Sometimes it takes longer than we anticipated. Patience is the key. One foot in front of the other is the key, but keeping that open mind and being willing to be flexible and adaptable is our way forward. So there's some very interesting stuff going on here for you, but I feel like there's just this big magical shifting kind of energy. You're stepping into your personal power. Maybe some of you, you'd forgotten how powerful you really are, right? You let someone steal your wind or steal your mojo in some way. Well, now you're getting it all back, right? So it's a beautiful, beautiful energy. We have the Page of Swords, Nine of Wands. Let your guard down, people. Got the Three of Cups, Six of Pentacles. Ooh, brain fart there. And we have the Justice card. All is well. All will be restored. The Justice card is your prevailing energy. And the Justice card is Libran energy, with a focus on relationships, but also a focus on balance, harmony, equality, justice, fairness, the balance restored, the balance within you. The Justice card also does speak to some good karma that could be coming your way, but also your ability to be authentic, speak your truth, be honest with yourself, step into your own authenticity, especially when dealing with people, or especially when making decisions that affect your future. The Justice card, whereas there's been injustice, now justice is served. Where there's been some inequality, the equilibrium is restored. But this also speaks to your ability to see the truth in any situation, to recognize information, to disseminate information, to decipher and unravel some messages that you may be getting. This speaks to your power to use that mighty sword of truth to cut through any confusion or any deception, right? Whether it's self-deception or self-confusion, right? Or with other people, right? The Justice card is that Libran energy, fairness, balance, and equality for all your ability to invoke it, to initiate it, and embrace it. This also does, of course, speak to your ability to make sure that you are seeing things from multiple perspectives, multiple avenues, right? You're looking at the pros and cons. You're looking at one side of the situation, conversation, or one opportunity, and you are weighing up, the pros, the cons, the good, the bad. What does this really mean? You're keeping an open mind and looking at another point of view or another person's perspective or another option or opportunity, and you're looking at all that and you're seeing the truth between, and this gives you that extra ability to make the best decisions possible. But we do have two cards of balance, because we also do have the Six of Pentacles here. Again, balance restored, right? Something that you put out into the world flows back to you, right? When we get the Six of Pentacles, this can show that you are putting a lot of great things out into the universe, and this is where things may start to come back to your life, or you may not start to see improvements in your world, right? Balance and equality. This can represent some money coming back to you. This can be help coming back to you, resources coming back to you, information coming back to you, right? You put out the effort and set the intention to find information, and you find it, right? And you find what you're looking for. But fairness, balance, equality, harmony, very important here, not just with yourself, but with other people, and finding that in your life. And I feel like here in this energy, you might be discovering new ways and looking at things in a different way in order to find a healthier equilibrium in your life somewhere, because maybe it's to get your spiritual self back on track, right? Because again, sometimes we get caught up in the busyness of life and we don't always have time. We feel like we don't have time. We can usually find 5 minutes or 15 minutes, right, in our day to do a little meditation or to connect with our energy, right? But sometimes we just kind of, it's like a whirlwind. And so with the Page of Swords, you're opening up to new ideas, new ways of doing things. You're looking at things in a different perspective. The Page of Swords can quite often sometimes bring you messages as well. And in this energy, you're open to receive, interpret, and understand those messages. These can come from people in your life. This can come from spirit. This can come in the form of some very interesting signs, right, that you may have to research. Page of Swords likes to find information, right? It's a little curious energy, right? So you could be seeing some things that spark your curiosity. And what do? You go and research. You look some things up. What does this mean? What does this mean? I don't know what this means. I've never seen this before, right? Or what does this mean in this situation? So the Page of Swords is a very curious nature, a very curious energy, seeking out information, trying new things, bursting with big ideas, that kind of stuff, right? But it's a little bit of an innocent energy, right? It's like, I don't always know where I'm going. I don't always know what I'm doing, but I'm excited to be here and I'm excited for what's to come. And this can be a shift in your mindset, a shift in your energy. Here for you, you could be opening the door to meeting new people, connecting with people that are on your same wavelength here. And whether it's spiritual or maybe something with school or with work or, with communities that, of people that, have the same kind of mindset or interest that you do, right? This is very opening up the lines of communication, but you could be getting some very interesting messages here. Beware the Nine of Wands though, because the Nine of Wands can show a little bit of skepticism sometimes, right? And it's like, okay, especially if you've been going through some challenges. And when we get to the Nine of Wands, it does show a completion. We're seeing something through to the end. We're seeing something through to completion. We're ready for the next step of our journey, or we just need a break, because it is kind of a little bit of a tired energy. It's like, okay, I'm done. Okay, I'm done. I need a rest. I need a break. I need a vacation. Three of Cups. I need to go out and have some fun. So don't forget to go out and have a little bit of fun and tap into your inner child, no matter what it is, no matter what you're doing, no matter what you're trying to accomplish, right? We need to make some room to have some fun in our lives. But the Nine of Wands does also speak to being a little bit skeptical sometimes. So a little dose of skepticism is actually healthy, right? Because, we don't always want or need, or we shouldn't always just trust things that are in front of us, right? It's good to ask questions. It's good to do research. It's good to get curious about, what the truth is, and your ability with the Justice card there to see the truth and to figure out what the right information is very powerful and very strong. So a little healthy dose of skepticism is okay, right? But we don't want to kind of live in that energy all the time, always looking over our shoulder, looking around the corner. What's next? What baseball is life going to throw in my head as soon as I turn the page, turn a corner, right? We don't want to live in that energy. We want to replace it with an energy that's, open and curious and happy to be part of life and that kind of thing, right? The Three of Cups can show that you may have something to celebrate that's opening up for you. You could be connecting with people, feeling a little bit more social, especially if you've been working hard, going through some stuff, right? You need to have a little bit of fun. And the Three of Cups is a very jovial, very social, and very celebratory kind of energy. And especially with the Six of Pentacles coming in here, there could be something that you receive that makes you call up your friends and connect with people and say, hey, let's go out and celebrate. I've got some really good news. So you can have some really good news and some really positive surprises that are headed your way over the next couple of months. But with the Three of Cups, it does speak to support as well. So whatever situation you're in, with the Six of Pentacles, this can be support coming in for you when you need it, right? Nine of Wands, it's like, woof, man, you're drained, right? So there could be some help out there coming in if you need it, but this can also be that you are actually helping other people here as well in some way, right? Whether you're offering help to a friend, Maybe you're just lending an ear, because the Six of Pentacles, yes, it's a card of the law of giving and receiving, right? What we give, we would get back. But it's also a card of charity, right? Helping others when we have extra time, extra resources, extra information, right? Extra money. It is that card of charity, right? And we give without the expectation of receiving back, even though that's inevitably what does happen. So people helping people. Remember, there is this support system that is around you. So if you are feeling tired and drained and man, just like you've gone through the ringer, maybe there is someone around you that can, maybe if you've got kids, maybe, take your kids out for a couple of hours so that you can have a nap, that kind of thing. If you're wanting to move, maybe there's someone with a truck that can help you move, that kind of stuff. Or maybe there's just someone that you can talk to that just may be a little understanding, right? So, but you could also be connecting with new people who, again, are sharing your same energy and experiences, and you could be finding those support networks, those support groups. So people helping people is a beautiful energy, and don't forget to ask Spirit for help as well. But also remember, our relationship with Spirit is not just transactional, which we tend to fall into, right? We go to Spirit a lot of times in times of trouble, when we need some help, right? When we're in distress, right? But we need to remember that our relationship with Spirit can be a lot stronger when we also contact and connect with Spirit when we have something to celebrate, when we have some good news, and we build that relationship, right? And when we do that, we don't just go to Spirit in times of trouble, we also go in times of joy, right? And it's kind of like building a friendship, right? And it becomes no longer transactional. It becomes way more supportive. And you'd be amazed how your connection with Spirit changes when you do that. And we forget about that sometimes, but really keep that in mind. There's your next card. And we have your sacral chakra, letting go. Letting go is not giving up. Sometimes it is the first step towards success. Your next card. Your third eye. There you go. Double message of your third eye. Signs. There will always be signs to guide you on your true path. Keep an open mind. Pay attention to those signs that maybe you would sometimes dismiss as a coincidence. No, they are not. There's your next card. Harmony makes the song of life sweeter. Remember, everything in balance. Balance, balance. Important for you to pay attention to, okay? Because tiring energy in here, right? When we focus too much on one thing, we lose contact and connection with another thing. Balance is something that, yes, we strive, and sometimes we achieve, and sometimes we don't. So this is a reminder for you to find and focus and look at the areas in your life where you might need a little bit more balance and harmony, right? And you can make little small tweaks, little small changes to help restore that little healthy equilibrium. We feel better, we feel lighter, we feel brighter, we feel like we can handle stuff, right, when we're in alignment. So I'm going to leave that there for you guys. Those are your messages. I hope there was something in here that resonated in some small way. It might have been a little tidbit of information or the whole thing. But if there was, please give me a thumbs up on this video. Press that like button. It does let me know you resonate. It lets the algorithm know the same thing, so it shows it to more people, just the way it works in the land of YouTube. But also drop a comment in the box down below. You can just throw a heart down there. I'll heart you back. We'll connect all of our energies and get some wonderful vibes going for everybody. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you later. Bye.